Rack off? They've remade Heartbreak High on Netflix? Surely not.
My best friend dumped me!
I'm a reject!
I have a lazy kebab vagina!
Hello and welcome to Screen OD, the channel for people who love TV, movies and streaming. My name is Tim. I'm an editor and a journalist who's been writing and talking about the entertainment industry for more than 15 years. This is an exciting one for me because Heartbreak High has a special place in the heart of quite a lot of people probably of a similar age to me, because we were teenagers when it first came across the Pacific and then via the Atlantic to the UK in the 90s. Heartbreak High was a completely different type of show for young people. Now, it's fair to say that not every scene of Heartbreak High, the original edition, was quite like that. That was muck-up day when things went very, very wrong. But the thing about Heartbreak High as a teenager in the UK was it was a completely different view of youth culture in Australia. Up until then, most of what we had seen had been through soap operas like Home and Away and Neighbours, which had quite a kind of middle-class, middle-of-the-road, fairly conservative view of life in Australia. This took us from the suburbs to the city. This showed us people of Greek heritage, people from Vietnam, people living in places that weren't with their parents and acting in ways that weren't particularly conformist. They wore baggy jeans, they were ravers, there was grunge going on around. This was a time that was wild, that was exciting, and everything that went on at Hartley High you definitely wanted to know about. And that's why it's so intriguing that Netflix have decided to bring it back as the first production to come out of their Australia, New Zealand production department. And Heartbreak High, well, here's what we get.
Oh, there's a fully gacked sex map in the old stairwell!
The incest map.
What, in the kids' helpline?
It was all about who hooked up with who in our year and what they did.
Wristy? Doughy? Think I can work out tongue punch in the fart box?
Now, it's not the 90s anymore. The world has changed, and there are people who will watch this, who watch the original show, who probably won't like it because it feels quite different. And frankly, I don't think anyone's going to mind, because I don't think this is aimed at a retro audience. I think this is aimed at a new audience, an audience who have grown up watching Netflix, who've grown up watching Never Have I Ever and Sex Education, and you can feel that that influence is there. It couldn't be made without referencing some of the stuff that has gone before it.
Your names were on the map in the stairwell.
This is a sexual literacy tutorial.
This is sex jail.
What, that bitch?
Who else was in on it? Your usual accomplice, Harper?
What happened? Our friendship was perfect, and it just fucking blew up into nothing.
Dude, everyone's pissed. You broke people up, outed people.
That's not a reason to dump me.
Oi, hello, didn't you hear me?
But what remains in this show is an essence of something that is very Australian. There's an essence of something that, even though it's quite glossy now, because all TV is much more glossy, it feels like it's made on a much higher level, much more cinematic in its feel. It still has at the heart of it a show that is about people, that's about ordinary kids trying to get on with their lives.
Everyone hates me.
Wait, Amory! Psycho mad bitch!
Fuck her off! Don't go playing.
We don't hate you.
You just need to strut out there and earn your shit.
For me, this is a show that really finds its feet when it starts to speak more in an Australian accent as time goes on, when it gets a little bit more confident in what it is. Just like the original, authenticity, I think, is the key. It's got great characters who are going through lots of issues that affect people every day. Its audience are looking to it to talk to them about race, about class, about gender, about everything in between. These are things that people want to talk about. They're things that they want to be inspired to have conversations with their friends, with their parents, with their teachers about. And this is a show that allows them to do it.
This is a joke, right?
I'm way funnier than this.
Do you not understand how unimportant it all is?
You look like a tragic offcut from the Real Housewives. Forget that bitch, let's go.
Now, when it starts to move a little bit away from the big kind of showpiece incest map stuff and the kind of punchline jokes, which are obviously there to get your attention and to get you watching, you can feel there's a heart beneath this show, if you'll excuse the pun, a Heartbreak High heart, which is quite similar to that from the 90s. Yes, things have changed in the show, and of course it will never be exactly the same. And one thing that I can't forgive is it doesn't have the same theme tune, which is one of the greatest TV themes of all time. But this is a show that I think younger people are going to enjoy who've watched a lot of the shows on Netflix that come from America or maybe come from Britain. This is one that has an Australian tone of voice and is a different perspective on some of the many problems that people face in the modern age.
I'm gonna love her, honey.
Where the hell have you been? Inside now!
You can watch Heartbreak High now on Netflix. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like if you like this video. We'll see you again for more Screen OD very soon.